Hello, everyone, and welcome. Chances are, if you're joining me today, you're in your 50s or beyond, and you're asking yourself this one question that everyone is afraid to say out loud. Is this all there is? Maybe you spent decades raising children, building a career, caring for aging parents, supporting your spouse, or simply doing everything that everyone else needed you to do. Now life looks different, and you're wondering what's next. If that's you, I want you to know something from the very beginning. You are not alone, you are not forgotten, and you are certainly not finished. In fact, I believe the greatest chapter may still be ahead of you. Today, we're beginning a journey together called Finding Your Purpose After 50. My hope is that every episode reminds you that your life still has incredible value and that purpose doesn't retire just because you do. Why so many people feel lost after 50? Let's be honest for a moment. No one really prepares us for this stage of life. When we're younger, life is filled with goals and milestones. Graduate, find a career, get married maybe, raise children, buy a home, build a retirement account. For years, we've moved from one responsibility to the next. Then one day, we wake up and many of those responsibilities have changed. The kids may have grown up and moved away. Retirement may be approaching, or perhaps you've already retired. Your career may no longer define your days. You may have experienced divorce, the loss of loved ones, health challenges, or unexpected life changes. Suddenly, the question isn't, what do I have to do today? The question becomes, who am I now? If you've been asking yourself that question, you're not alone. Many people in their 50s experience what experts sometimes call a life transition or a second half awakening. It's a season where we begin evaluating not just what we've accomplished, but whether we're living a life that truly reflects who we are. And while that can feel unsettling, it can also become one of the greatest opportunities of your life. Purpose doesn't have an expiration date. One of the biggest lies our culture tells us is that success belongs to the young. We're consistently surrounded by stories celebrating people in their 20s and 30s. It can make you feel as though you've missed your chance. But life tells a different story. There are people who launch businesses after 60, people who wrote best-selling books after retirement, people who discovered new careers, new passions, and new ministries in the second half of life. The truth is, purpose isn't determined by your age. It's determined by your willingness to keep going, growing. Think about everything you've learned over the years. You've survived disappointment. You've celebrated victories. You've overcome obstacles you never imagined you faced. You've gained wisdom that can be learned in a classroom. Those experiences didn't happen by accident. They've been shaping you into the person you are today. And the world needs people with wisdom. It needs people who know how to persevere. It needs people who can encourage others because they've walked through difficult seasons themselves. Sorry, I'm reading from my notes. Your experience is your greatest asset. Sometimes we look in the mirror and notice wrinkles, gray hair, or the physical changes that comes with getting older. But what if instead seeing what you've lost, you've begun seeing what you've gained? You've gained patience, perspective, compassion, strength, resilience. You know what truly matters now. You probably worry less about impressing people than you did 20 years ago. You've understand that relationships are more valuable than possessions. You know that time is precious. Those aren't weaknesses. They're strengths. Your experiences have given you something younger people are still trying to develop. wisdom. And wisdom is one of the greatest gifts you can offer the world. It's time to stop comparing your journey. Comparison is one of the fastest way to lose sight of your own purpose. Maybe you look at someone else's success and think, I should have accomplished more. Or perhaps you regret decisions you made years ago. Maybe you're carrying the weight of missed opportunities. Can I encourage you today? Your life isn't measured by someone else's timeline. Everyone's stories unfolds differently. Some people bloom early, others bloom later. Neither journey is better. The only question that matters is this: what will you do with today? You can't change yesterday, but today is full of possibilities. Your next chapter begins with one decision. Finding a purpose doesn't usually happen overnight. It begins with a simple decision. I am willing to believe there is still more for my life. That's it. You don't need to have every answer today. You don't need a detailed 5-year plan. You just need to be willing to take the next step. Maybe that next step is taking a class, starting a journal, volunteering, beginning a small business you've dreamed about for years, writing the book that's been in your heart, mentoring someone younger, traveling, learning a new skill, or simply giving yourself permission to dream again. Small steps lead to meaningful change. 3 questions to ask yourself this week. Before we finish today, I'd like to leave you with 3 questions. Take some time this week to write your answers in a notebook. Question 1. What brings me joy that I've ignored for years? Think back to the things that made you come alive before life became so busy. Question 2. What life experiences have taught me lessons that could help someone else? Your story may become someone else's survival guide. Question 3. If I truly believe I wasn't too old, what would I start today? Don't overthink it. Just write what comes to your mind. Final encouragement. If no one has told you lately, just let me tell you now. Your life still matters. Your voice still matters. Your dreams still matters. Your wisdom matters. The years ahead of you can become some of the most meaningful years you've ever lived. Not because they're easy, but because you finally learned what truly matters. This season isn't about slowing down. It's about becoming the person you've been preparing to be all along. So don't count yourself out, not just yet. Don't let fear convince you it's too late. Don't allow regret to steal tomorrow. Your story isn't over. In many ways, it's just beginning. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I'll see you in my next chapter.